Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Report. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Ray Man Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your soul story together. And we have a shout out this week to our new friends at ohmtimes.com. If you go to ohmtimes.com, you'll see one of the greatest lightworker magazines on the planet, and you will see our horoscopes there as well. Well, the sun is now in chapter 3 of Libra. This is the master shui, the passionate, intense part of the transit. We'll be working on our long-term partnerships, our romantic marriages, and strategic business alliances as well. The classic kind of cliche of sun in Libra. The moon will be a bit intense this week. It will actually go full by the end of the week. It begins in cutoff Aquarius, then we're juicy in Pisces for 3 days, then a full moon in Aries on Friday night, and then of course we have a chill weekend in Taurus where we'll be manifesting. The moon signs most affected are Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, and the moons falling into the shadow or the dark side of the moon will be the Leo moon, Virgo moons, Libra, and Scorpio moons. Now, looking at orbits, man, this week it's kind of interesting. The moon, of course, starts in the crown, but then by the end of the week will shift all the way down to the root chakra for the full moon, which creates this opposition between the throat chakra and the root chakra. And because this is the full moon in Aries, this is the most intense full moon around survival, root chakra issues. So in each of your 12 horoscopes upstairs, I'll be talking about how this opposition might affect your health and how it affects your chakras in your system. Now, taking a look at the planets, let's start first with the constellations, a new little feature I put in this week, which I had pointed out. And we, of course, overlay the planets on top of this. There's a lot going on with the planets, and some of it has been going on for a long time, and I'm happy to announce some of it is finally ending. For one, we do have this trine between Black Lilith and Saturn. The good news is both Black Lilith and Saturn show that now they're unified at growing, moving forward, healing. And Black Lilith is at step 14 this week, which means that we're going to respond differently based on the fact that we are hopefully feeling karma free. This grand cross or grand square has finally broken apart. You can see that the sun has progressed. Thank goddess for that. Now there's still a T square going on between the three planets, Uranus, Pluto, and Black Lilith is a trigger there. However, with the sun out of this week you're going to find your life going faster and faster and faster because we're starting to feel our life let up. Remember, the sun is what we love. It is basically our life. And then this grand trine, this Black Lilith grand trine is still in effect, but because of Black Lilith being at step 14 and Saturn moving to step 12 at the end of the week, this is going to be a freeing, much more freeing grand trine, and this is going to be us rushing past like water rapids our old issues and probably finding ourselves emotionally in new issues. Well, let's dive in deep to your particular soul, but to do that we've got to take the ascension elevator up, so I'll see you upstairs at 33,000 feet.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Namaste, Cancers and Cancer Risings, and welcome to 33,000 feet for a bird's eye view of you. How are you doing? I hope things are gravy. That's my new term, things are gravy. That's a yummy gravy, I hope. We are in the sun in Libra, and that means Cancers and Cancer Risings are working on what they allegedly do best, home, family, and foundation. But really what it comes down to is how well you respond to your own emotions, how well you are there for yourself emotionally, how well the nanny gets nannied. That's what it comes down to. And that's part of our Serious Joy Toy. And before we jump through all these clouds, I do want to point out that for those who have signed up for the free open house of the Guardian Agency this week, you're going to find that the emails you get each day completely correspond with what I'm saying this week in the horoscopes. And if you jump into this, you could change your life. I've timed it this week on purpose. This is the week where it's time to get passionate about your life. And you know, Cancers and Cancer Risings all have this dream of the perfect running home and family. I don't care who you are. And it doesn't matter even if you're like the perpetual bachelor Cancer. You've got this idea of the dog and the den and the man cave and whatever. Everyone has that vision of perfect home and family, and you know that if you have it, then you will have everything. That's what Cancers believe, that with that foundation, you can grow into anything you want to be. So here it's time to follow your own bullshit, right? And it's time to transplant your soul garden into a better flower pot. In fact, one Cancer told me one time, why a flower pot? Why not plant it on a mountain? Good idea, Cancer. See, this Taurus boy doesn't always think of those things. So you're going to transplant your soul garden this week. You're going to emotionally plant yourself in new soil, new enriched soil with plenty of water and plenty of sun. And plenty of breeze to blow out the dead leaves and things like that, and to plant your soul garden in a way that you can grow and bear the fruit that you want. All right, and you are more than ready. This deals with relationships that have changed, your role in society that is beginning to shift, your career growth that's happening and has been against this. It feels like all these things. So as we start off this week, we're moving into chapter 3, which is really where it gets passionate. And boy, Cancers and Cancer risings do get passionate, but usually it's not necessarily a good feeling, they say. I mean, unless you're, of course, naked and in that right passion place, right? But it's time to experience togetherness. It's time to feel your community. It's time to feel your home and family. It's time to feel your soul garden, the garden in which you plant your soul. That's really where I got the idea from, was this idea that we all have to tend to our garden, we all have to tend to our soul. My mom's a Cancer, so she had a green thumb. I think it rubbed off on me. So we're stepping into the passion of your soul garden, of what it's like to live in your emotional life. Now, the sun will move from passion to dedication by the end of the week. We're stepping into the master shui, so you want to trust your feelings this whole week, and you're going to start to commit to others, commit to your community, commit to the people who are committed to you, right? Saturn in Scorpio is that story of your personal dreams. Now you want to keep your mind on the North Node. So you want to keep on intuition, listening very quietly, listening to your inner child about what it wants. And all this week, though, you're going to step into an integrity with your inner child and begin to pursue your own heart's desires, which is great. Mercury is already thinking about this, all right? And you're going to think a lot about what your heart wants this year. You're starting on that already. And the state of Cancer, that's Jupiter in your sign. Good news here. On the one hand, Black Lil says, love and trust, your karma is over. The old crazy Cancer that acts out emotionally because he or she is too pushed over the edge, that crazy Cancer, quote, quote, is over. Love and trust, it's done. And every time you respond as if that is an old you. And it was you. Whatever the ego is you're shedding one. Then Jupiter is love and trust where you're going. Not just love and trust where your character is going, but invest in that trust. Go ahead and gamble on it if you have to, right? And say, hey, I know I can do it, and step into it. So as we go out this week, looking at the long-running planets, your Jupiter, like I said, is you're loving and trusting all week that your ego is what it's supposed to be and you're not second-guessing. You are bringing integrity and healing to the inner child with Saturn. You are innovating your responses in career and workplace. We'll talk more about that. You are with Neptune at 2 degrees, being compassionate to your own ignorance. It's okay you don't know what to do. It's totally fine. And Pluto, which I've now put on the sheets, is at 9 degrees, which means you are moving forward in a new type of relationship. I don't care if you're married to someone. I don't care if you've been married to them for 40 years. You are moving into a new marriage policy as of now. And I will say the old marriage karma is over. Woohoo! I should have programmed in some fireworks for this. But Cancers are completely done, and Cancer risings with the old relationship crapola. So that said, on Sunday, the moon is in Aquarius, so you are probably very private. It was a private weekend, a reserved weekend, a weekend where you were cut off from the world. That's because you were figuring things out. On Monday, the moon moves into Pisces. This shifts emotions now to beliefs. This is where you have to be compassionate with yourself. It's okay that you don't know. That's okay. Spirit will guide us. The Spirit guided us back when there wasn't internet. So Spirit will guide us now. So on Monday, the moon does call for you to dedicate to your own spiritual beliefs and recommit. You're going to have to walk your talk on Monday. On Tuesday, there is a breakthrough, and it's a breakthrough of emotional understanding. I think you will understand something, and I think you will feel a new understanding. At the same time, it's a triple lightning bolt, which means we have quantum breakthrough. In your case, the understanding is philosophical and belief, but it's also an understanding about your own emotional needs. And do remember, for those who are watched over by GA, you will find that I get an email that reminds you of this on this day. You get an email from me on that day. You also get videos from me too, you'll see. Then on Wednesday, it's a breakthrough day. The light bulb goes off. You finally get it. And I think this is a big get it. I think this is a get it of understanding where you're going, what your life purpose is, or getting a more focus of that. I think this is a getting it of, oh my goodness, I know how to treat myself emotionally. And I think with Saturn and Scorpio, this is, oh, and that means my inner child will get what it wants. Yes, of course it will. It's supposed to. On Thursday, we have a Venus rule day. The moon shifts into Aries. Now you get pulled to work. So you've kind of been cloudy away from work from Monday through Thursday. But on Thursday, Cancers are online. It's like a light bulb. And the moon, and again, on this day, you're going to have to respond differently. In other words, whatever happens at work, emotionally respond differently to that, and respond differently to however you're treated. So if you find yourself in a situation, be the new person at work emotionally. Don't be the old person at work on Thursday. That's the way to put it. On Friday, Neptune rules the day. It's a cloudy day. It's a professional, partly cloudy, but professional for the Cancers and Cancer risings. And this is a spiritual day. And really, this is a day where you might be torn between a work decision or a work issue and a home family foundation, homeland security sort of issue. Oh, those words give me just such chills. I can't use them for astrology. It's unfortunately because it was abused terms. But your own home security against your future is the pit. And you may make a last minute decision to sell the house or do something radical at home. You may make a last minute decision in the full moon to step away from a job offer, a promotion, or a direction you thought you were going to head. But that's why you want to meditate on Friday before the moon climaxes through the night. On Saturday, it's actually the time you technically commit, even though you've been going through it emotionally all week. It's on Saturday that you make a personal emotional commitment to yourself. Again, you're committing to a way of feeling at home. You're committing to a soul garden. You're committing to a way of planting yourself. Through the week, you get distracted with trust issues and beliefs and career. But it's all about this month, how you plant your soul garden. And where is it a fertile land? Is it fertile territory? Is it surrounded by friendly neighbors? Are there nice fences making your neighbors nice? So on Saturday, the moon moves into Taurus. This will be a sunny and social day for the Cancers and Cancer risings, and a day of networking with your friends. You are also deciding privately in the background to a new emotional way of being, I believe, and a new soul garden to be planted in. So taking a sneak peek at next week, the biggest headlines are Mercury goes retrograde on Monday. We have showers on Tuesday and Friday, but look at that. On Wednesday, we go down the rabbit hole of Scorpio. And boy, this year, are we, I just have to say. Now, as you probably know from last week, I can't afford to take you down the ascension elevator. I mean, what would it be, a descension elevator? I can't put my customers in a descension elevator. So what I do is push you off the plane. So I do ask you now to put on your parachute, that's my cute little term, and be prepared. And when we get to the bottom, I have a new series Joy Toy for you. So take a deep breath and jump.
At Solmar.me, we have prices and specials worth jumping for. Like the Guardian Agency, our digital network that'll watch over you through email 7 days a week, 7 times a day. Come join our free open house next week. Just navigate to Solmar.me. While you're there, fill out your date of birth and email address in our custom form, and you'll get 7 days free. No credit card required to sign up. Come on down. And while you're there, you might want to also check out the Orbits Report and Jupiter Gets Emotional. Now just $11.11 for limited time and for immediate download. At Solmar.me, mind, body, and soul improvement. Parachute not included.
Cancers and Cancer risings, thank you so much for sticking by. Hope you had a nice parachute down and you used your parachute. Now that said, it's time for our serious Joy Toy. This is a toy, a game in your mind you can play with all week long, designed to help you step into the light. This is also something that is heavily stressed in the daily Gmails that I send out. So if you have signed up for the free week, you will be reinforced with this through the week. So that said, last week we said role play that you were your own Mary Poppins. And actually someone on YouTube said, who's Mary Poppins? Well, I hope you Googled it, sweetie, because it is an important little game and very important for you to know this little myth of Mary Poppins that Disney made, because I think Cancers can fall into a life where they are Mary Poppins to everyone and not Mary Poppins to themselves. And that brings us to what we're going to do this week. This week's Serious Joy Toy is It is time for a dress rehearsal of your new life, and I would like you to jump into a chalk drawing. Now, of course, you've got to see the movie, you know what I'm talking about, and I can't go into it now, but jump into a chalk drawing this week of what your new soul garden will be like. In other words, you're feeling it, you're in a chalk drawing, you can step out at any time, it's totally safe, it doesn't matter. You can feel it and you can pull away and jump out if things get too scary. Jump into the chalk drawing of your new soul garden, and I will see you in 7 days to find out how that went. All right, my crabs, I hope you have a fabulous week. I love you very much. I'm very much grateful for everything you give back. The notes, the comments, the Soulmart purchases, everything. Thank you. Namaste and live, love, be.
TV.
Hello, my brothers and sisters, and welcome back to the most loving space on the internet. And you know what? It's Friday. It's finally Friday, and we got a whole bunch of content. That's right. No, we don't. What am I talking about?